The other faults that you can get in the motherboard is the CMOS battery fault. Okay, sometimes I find in some laptops when there is a bad CMOS battery, okay, this can cause a failed laptop motherboard. It can cause a no power motherboard. That's why you should always check the CMOS battery. Okay, the CMOS battery you should find 3.3 volts between its terminals. Okay. Then we have the Super I/O, as you can see. This is a very important IC in the motherboard. This is the IC that is responsible for the power, the whole power in the motherboard. So if there is any problem with this IC, the power will be failed in the motherboard. That's why you should always check it. You should check its pins and check its heat. If it is very hot, then there is a failure in it. Of course, I want to add that there is some motherboards that contain a power jack and others that is connected via a cable to the power jack, as you can see here. So the power jack is connected to the motherboard via a cable. So it contains two terminals, the positive terminals and the negative terminals. Always the red wires means positive and the black wires means negative. Okay, as you can see. So here we have two MOSFETs or switches. Here we have the diode. This is a protection component. The diode is connected to the ground, as you can see here, to protect the motherboard if there is an overcurrent or over voltage. The diode will be damaged and will be shorted to the ground and then protect the other circuits in the motherboards. So now we're going to see how to find the short. So the short circuit is one of the common faults in the motherboard. So to find or to check the short or to diagnose the short circuit in the motherboard, you should use a circuit. You should use inductors, okay? Because always inductors are never connected to the ground. That's why you should use inductors to check whether you have a short in any circuit or not. So if you find that an inductor is shorted to the ground, means there is a short circuit. The inductor can never be shorted to the ground. Okay, then the connectors, especially the USB connectors. As you see, the USB connector contain 4 pins, plus 5 volt, ground, D minus and D plus. If there is a bended pins or a damaged pins, this can make a short circuit in the motherboard. That's why you should always check the USB connectors and all connectors in the motherboard. Then there is another IC that can cause the failure, the sound IC or the audio control IC. As you can see, the audio control IC, as you can see, it controls these ports. So this is the audio control IC. If there is any problem in this IC, it can cause a dead motherboard or a failed motherboard. Of course, you can check it or feel it using your finger. If it is very hot, it means it is failed. Or you can just check the capacitors, the ceramic capacitors around it. If you find any shorted capacitor, it means the IC is bad. You should replace it. Okay, using another IC with the same part number or reference. Then the ICH or the South bridge. As you know, the South bridge is the chip that is responsible for the whole ports and connectors in the motherboards. Okay, as you can see, this is the ICH, Intel ICH. The ICH is failed. All parts in the motherboard will stop working. Okay, so here we have a crystal and we have the ICH. Okay, so the ICH controls all ports in the motherboard. As you can see, the USB connector, the RJ45 connector, the audio connector, the HDMI connectors, all connectors in the motherboard. If you find that all connectors in the motherboard are stop working, that means the ICH is bad. Okay, so the ICH or the South bridge is the control for all ports in the motherboard.